You know what the rest of India is thinking and doing today? The South Indian has been there, done that. That's the wonderful thing about us South Indians. Also, I promise you on this show, we are not going to unnecessarily shout. I am not going to be unnecessarily polite or sing your praises, and I promise all of that until or unless I am provoked. And I shall wait for the day when you can come sit next to me here. You can come sit next to me here. You're most welcome, provided you deserve to be here. So let's start a show which focuses on the South Indian, about how we are different and in a nice way. Today our focus is on Telangana. Chief Minister of Telangana, Chandrasekhar Rao, popularly known as KCR, is geared up to fight the elections in the state and is on a spree offering one welfare measure after another. Now, in this debate between Revdi and welfare, which is now yet another sparring topic between the north and the south, KCR is one chief minister who can easily be called as welfare Raja. There is a long list of measures he implemented since he took over the reins of Telangana, and amongst them the Rythu Bandhu, the Rythu Bima, Kalyana Lakshmi or Shadi Mubarak, the Aasara pension scheme, Arogyasri and many more. The experts say that his talent lies in cherry picking specific communities and targeting them very, very cleverly. For instance, the Brahmin Sadan, Adivasi Bhavan, Banjara Bhavan, Christian Bhavan and so on and so forth.
బ్రాహ్మణ సదనాన్ని ప్రారంభించుకున్న నేటి శుభ సందర్భంలో బ్రాహ్మణుల సంక్షేమం కోసం ప్రభుత్వం తీసుకున్న మరిన్ని నిర్ణయాలను మీ అందరికీ తెలియజేయడానికి నేను సంతోషిస్తూ ఉన్నాను. ప్రస్తుతం బ్రాహ్మణ పరిషత్తు ద్వారా వేద శాస్త్ర పండితులకు ప్రతి నెల ఇస్తున్న గౌరవ భృతిని రూపాయలు 2500 నుంచి 5000 రూపాయలకు పెంచుతున్నామని మీ అందరికీ నేను తెలియజేస్తూ ఉన్నాను. ఈ భృతిని పొందే అర్హత వయస్సును 75 ఏళ్ల నుండి 65 ఏళ్లకు తగ్గిస్తున్నామని సవినయంగా తెలియజేస్తూ ఉన్నాను. ప్రస్తుతం రాష్ట్రంలోని 3645 దేవాలయాలకు ధూపదీప నైవేద్య పథకం వర్తిస్తున్నది. రాష్ట్ర వ్యాప్తంగా మరో 2796 దేవాలయాలకు కూడా ధూపదీప నైవేద్యం పథకాన్ని విస్తరింపజేస్తామని తెలియజేయడానికి సంతోషిస్తూ ఉన్నాను. దీంతో రాష్ట్రంలో 6441 దేవాలయాలకు ధూపదీప నైవేద్య పథకం కింద నిర్వహణ వ్యయం అందుతుంది. ఈ సందర్భంగా మరొక శుభవార్త కూడా మీ అందరితో నేను పంచుకుంటూ ఉన్నాను. ఇప్పటి వరకు ధూపదీప నైవేద్యం పథకం కింద దేవాలయాల నిర్వహణ కోసం అర్చకులకు నెలకు 6000 రూపాయల చొప్పున ప్రభుత్వం అందిస్తున్నది. ఈ మొత్తాన్ని 10,000 రూపాయలకు పెంచుతున్నామని తెలియజేయడానికి నేను చాలా సంతోషిస్తూ ఉన్నాను. ఈ నిర్ణయం మీ అందరినీ కూడా ఎంతో సంతోషపెడుతుందని నేను భావిస్తూ ఉన్నాను. ఎవరన్నా ఇంకా భూమి లేకుండా, భుక్తి లేకుండా, ఎటువంటి అవకాశాలు లేకుండా, ఉద్యోగ ఉపాధి అవకాశాలు లేకుండా గిరిజన బిడ్డలు కనుక మిగిలి ఉంటే దళిత బంధు తరహాలో గిరిజన బంధు పథకాన్ని కూడా ప్రారంభిస్తామని నేనే స్వయంగా ప్రకటించిన అధ్యక్ష.
ఈ చేనేత మిత్ర అనే పథకంలో మీరు అంటున్నారు 50% సబ్సిడీ ఇస్తున్నాం అంటున్నారు. కానీ దానిలో మాకు డబ్బులు టైంకి వస్తలేవు. ఎందుకంటే ఆ ఇన్వాయిస్లు అప్లోడ్ చేసుడు, అదేవిధంగా ఎన్హెచ్డిసి ద్వారా కానీ ఎన్హెచ్డిసి డిపోల ద్వారా కానీ కొనుగోలు చేయాలనే కండిషన్ పెట్టడం, దీనివల్ల మేము ఇన్వాయిస్లు సమర్పించలేకపోతున్నాం. మీరెవరికైతే లాభం జరగాలని కార్యక్రమం పెట్టినరో కార్మికులకు మాకు వస్తలేదు, మాకు డైరెక్ట్ గా సబ్సిడీ ఇవ్వండి అనే మాట మీరు కోరడం జరిగింది. మీ కోరికను మన్నిస్తూ ఈరోజు నేను ప్రకటిస్తా ఉన్నాను, ఈ చేనేత దినోత్సవం నాడు మనం ఈ రాబోయే నెల నుంచి, అంటే ఈ ఆగస్టు సెప్టెంబర్ నెల నుంచే ప్రతి కార్మికునికి, ప్రతి మగ్గానికి నెలకు 3000 రూపాయల చొప్పున డైరెక్ట్ గా మీ అకౌంట్ లో జమ అయ్యే విధంగా ఈ పథకాన్ని మార్పు చేయడం జరిగింది. ఇది మీ కోరిక మేరకు, మీకు విజ్ఞప్తి మేరకే. ఎందుకంటే మొదలు కట్టుడు తర్వాత తెచ్చుకునుడు ఇది అయ్యే పని కాదు అని మీరే చెప్పినారు. నెలకు 3000 రూపాయల చొప్పున దీని వెంటనే స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నామనే మాట కూడా వృత్తిలో ఉన్న ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి దీనివల్ల తప్పకుండా లాభం జరుగుతుంది. దీన్ని విస్తృతంగా ప్రచారం చేయాలని చెప్పి కూడా మిత్రులందరినీ కూడా నేను మీ చప్పట్ల మధ్యన మా డిపార్ట్మెంట్ రూపొందించింది, వారికి కూడా ధన్యవాదాలు చెప్పాలి.
You know, even as Muka Stalin in Tamil Nadu keeps talking about Hindi imposition and has regularly been fighting, because I am not taking it away from the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, that Hindi imposition was one of the main pillars of the Dravidian movements. The one good thing about KCR is he speaks Hindi like a native. So, in a way, he stands out in the south. Some of his speeches are in Hindustani, which is a mix of Hindi and Urdu. Of course, he has a constituency, but also what I am trying to prove is that the man is very, very intelligent, very astute. Now, in his recent offerings, KCR included the financial assistance scheme meant for the backward classes, that is BCs, to the underprivileged, both Muslims and Christians. Now, the beneficiaries of this scheme is to receive 1 lakh rupees. He also announced that the government would constitute a pay revision commission and promised to examine the possibility of reinstating old pension scheme. So, ladies and gentlemen, so far so good. But does KCR's government have the money to fulfill the slew of measures? The reality, and according to a report tabled by CAG, is that the government incurred a net excess expenditure of 75,053 crores, which was 29% more than the estimates in 11 grants or appropriations against the approved budget of 25,517 crores. So, you've announced all these measures, they have really done well for you, but now the coffers are running empty. There is obviously a heavy burden of huge borrowings and mounting debts on the government of Telangana, much like Karnataka, which struggled to fulfill its 5 guarantees and got its knickers in a twist after another. Manifesting desperation. Is KCR also going the same way? Let's not forget, Siddaramaiah first said, Anna Bhagya, I will give you poor people rice, and then had to switch to money. So, let us debate whether KCR has really bitten more than he can chew. Let me of course welcome my guest today, is Chandrasekhar, senior journalist. Hi Sai, how are you?
Good.
All right, good to see you. Also Nagesh Kumar, who is a senior journalist. Mr. Nagesh Kumar, namaste Andy, how are you?
Fine, good evening.
And Mahesh Konakala, who is the spokesperson for the Telangana Pradesh Congress Committee. Can I say hello to Mahesh? Has he joined us? All right, we are having some bit of a problem with his connection. We will get him to speak more on this, and here comes my question sheet. You know, the thing is, I want to ask you, Nagesh Garu, that after the formation of Telangana, it's a lot of struggle. We know how the state was formed. How logical and necessary was it for K. Chandrasekhar Rao to introduce so many welfare schemes at one go, sir? What was it? Was it to create a kind of a safety net, as it were?
No, you see, Telangana was I mean, from the day it was born, it was not a poor state. You know, not a day goes without K.T. Ramarao, who is the Minister for IT Industries and Municipal Administration, pointing out the fact that we are among the top 3 states as far as GDP is concerned, rather per capita GDP is concerned, and and third actually in the per capita income is concerned. So Telangana is not a poor state, you know, and it's a small state with a good income coming from various sources, whether it's from excise or from the transport authority or from, you know, the tax that they impose on fuel. So Telangana is not short of funds. So that is why he can afford to be so liberal with the schemes like the Dalit Bandhu scheme, then the Rythu Bandhu scheme. Rythu Bandhu scheme is not, you know, no farmer asked for example, something like 8,000 rupees per acre that he gives for that Rythu Bandhu scheme.
Right.
Several of the farmers are owners of cinema theatres, rich people traveling in big cars and all that, and they get money under the Rythu Bandhu scheme. So, and And but we have built. He has built lavish buildings and projects all over the state. Our state secretariat. It is a building worth seeing, and then the Kaleshwaram project. So to say that Telangana is short of funds is not correct.
But what about the CAG report, Nagesh Garu? The CAG report is a bit of a shocker, isn't it? I mean, if you look at it, and they raise, I mean, it's not partisan in any way. I hope to God it is not. There they are saying, you look at this, there is 720% deficit as they see. I am going to read it out verbatim, Nagesh Garu. Expenditure under fiscal administration, 76,117 crores. And they are saying against the budget allocation of 9,273 crores. This is exceeding the budget in a tremendous fashion. You can be a rich man today, sir, but if you are going to spend more than your means, you are going to one day be poor without you earning anything. I can't sit and eat on what I get as interest. No, for how long?
See, this is one reason why he is putting pressure on the center to relax the norms on the ways and means position. He wants the center to allow him to borrow more, but the center is not keen, because it will open the floodgates of several states demanding a similar concession. But see, the CAG report nowadays means nothing. There was a time when I am not saying that the CAG figures, I am not challenging the figures of the CAG, but nowadays hardly any state government cares a pin for the reports that the CAG gives. Earlier, the CAG's report was considered an indictment of the government's poor fiscal management. Nowadays, it is tabled in the assembly on the last day of the session, and then everybody forgets about it. Nobody bothers till the next financial year, when the government gives the action taken report, by which time 365 days would have passed.
But you see, why I tell you is that he is one of the most astute chief ministers we have today. He hits the ground running. There is no gainsaying the fact that the man has delivered, or at least tried to deliver from day one. He is on the move. He wants to win the third time he wants to win. It has to be a record if he wins it. So I am not, all I am saying is, Mahesh Garu is smiling away, and I like that smile. You look so good, Mahesh Garu, if you smile. Smile some more, I'll come to you. But all I am saying is, I am not criticizing him. Now the thing is, this is the CAG. It is all over the papers, and this is not the first time. In 2016 also they had commented. See, it is very simple arithmetic to one extent, is that if I have 10 rupees, I can't go on spending 20 rupees without any earnings. Then I will come on the street. So I am saying, where is his fiscal prudence? Sai Shekhar, I want to come to you. See, in a case like this, I am not comparing his government with any other government, Sai Shekhar. Because Rythu Bandhu, Rythu Bima, Shadi Mubarak, Kalyana Lakshmi, you Aasara, everything. But the point is today, what the CAG is saying is, sir, please keep a check, because elections are also going to cost money, Sai Shekhar. So somewhere, don't you think that he is actually spreading himself too thin?
No, actually, because he has been saying, will increase the economy of the state, will increase the income of the state, and we distribute it to the people. So you compare the figures of GSDP of Telangana, which was 5.5 lakh crore in 2014-15 when Telangana was separated, and it has grown by 157% to close to 13.9 lakh crore in 22-23. The various slew of measures taken by the government in enhancing the revenue, and government coffers, as was alleged in the topic, they are not empty. Every day government gets receipts, and fiscal prudence, yes, the government has to maintain, and CAG is a measure to impose the checks and balances. But however, I genuinely feel that Telangana income is increasing. He has been successfully able to implement for 10 years all the schemes, and he is adding scheme after scheme. And now he is promising PRC, and he is saying that it will be unprecedented. So, in fact, he has proven that as compared to Andhra, when last time he has enhanced the salaries of state government employees, and he is also, absorbing the 43,000 employees of APS, TSRTC into Telangana government service. That will naturally cast its burden on Telangana exchequer. Despite that, he is prepared for the simple reason that the economy is growing, and the numbers are already talking about it. And as compared to 9.7 lakh crore, the surplus expenditure they have done, which is about 70,000 crores, isn't so big in that sense. And all the welfare schemes and the development schemes have been well balanced, and in Telangana they are actually showing the results on the ground. So I don't think there is anything wrong in doling out promises and largesse for the simple reason that he's enhancing the economy and distributing it.
Sai Shekhar, you have a very good argument, but let me tell you that the research team went through reports after reports, and it's not just the recent one, which was 6th August, if I'm not wrong. But it was also even 2016, several reports and economic, lot of papers which focuses on the economy and commerce of this country. They said he is biting more than he can chew, because he seems to be on this mission to enhance, to add to the lives of the people of Telangana, which is fine. That's what I asked Nagesh Garu when I started. Was the Sai Shekhar, you tell me, because it was a newborn baby, don't you think KCR was in a way forced to kind of start all these measures? Because I'm not saying that it is very exaggerated to say, oh my God, it's like the partition. No, but assets were, partitioned. There was land which was partitioned. People were under distress. People didn't know, industries, for instance. Do you think, Sai Shekhar, that when he started this, when he fought his first election, he continuously spoke about it? Do you think that he had intended to introduce these welfare missions, Sai?
Yeah, indeed. It's not, he is forced to implement these things. He has promised certain things and he has delivered. And he has also delivered things which he has not promised in the elections. For example, you take Kalyan Lakshmi, Shadi Mubarak. That is one, and then KCR kits. Not everything should be seen from the frame of reference of welfare measures and dole. It is not exactly like that. For example, he has raised huge loans and built a Kaleshwaram project that contributes to the economy of the state. It can't be quantified because it's not a business. So he's not compelled to do these things, but he is genuinely interested in the state of Telangana and its growth, and he has properly nursed the newborn, as you rightly said. And now Telangana is raring to go again.
Right.
And on the threshold of elections, naturally he's also running a political party. So he has his own aspirations to retain power for a third successive term.
Yeah.
So for that reason, he is denouncing all these things and things which are practical and possible.
But we have an example of Karnataka, neighboring Karnataka, Nagesh Garu and Sai. The thing is that you may say that no, we are rich, the state is doing very well. But Sai Shekhar was bang on. Ladies and gentlemen, he said it. Fiscal prudence is important. I'll come to that point later, but I think I have to introduce Mahesh Konagala here. Mahesh Garu, a very, very warm welcome to you. Would you like to respond to what both Nagesh Garu and Sai said, about that the state is doing well? I mean, I'm just reading out the bullet points. The CAG report, they both respect the CAG report, but they say, it's all right. But I see alarm bells ringing. I'm not an alarmist, but I just think he needs to be careful, because you have such an example in neighboring Karnataka, your government, Annabhagya, to give rice. We are all South Indians, when you promise to give me 2 kilos of rice and instead give me 32 rupees, it's not equivalent of rice. There's a different messaging in this. I'm sure as South Indians, all of us, it is called Annabhagya, which I think the North will not understand. It's about Anna, we worship it, but instead money is being given. So I'm asking you that, do you think that KCR Garu and his government has to be physically very prudent now?
Yeah, good evening, Sudhaji. My respect pranams to the Nagesh Garu, and a small correction with reference to Sai Shekhar Garu. I know him from DC when he was working in Deccan Chronicle, but now he's working for a PR job for KTR. I hope better you can call him as a directly as a TRS person, so that things will be clear even for the viewers. First thing. Second, here, Telangana, CAG reports, once they were, shocked, they were shaking the whole nation once when it was on 3G, 2G spectrum, when it was on some other else programs, when UPA was in the government and NDA forces and so-called Anna Hazare and others,
Right.
they came into the picture, and they blamed UPA to the extent UPA 1 and 2 to the extent possible, and they made sit Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the chair. But now COG report for best known reason it has no recognition, it has no significance in the view of learned personalities in the society in India now. Why? For the best reasons. See, here Telangana is at the verge of collapse. I am talking in terms of finance, because we have handed over power to KCR Garu in 2014 with a surplus budget of 17,000 crores, and 60 years ruling has done about 62,000 crores debt.
Right.
Now the debt has gone up to 5 lakh crores. It's really all educated, and at least people who can understand the numbers should worry where the Telangana is going actually, and where is the rulers of Telangana is following any financial discipline. Do they have really accountability? I just want to bring to your notice, through you, to the viewers of Telangana especially. In movie industry, there are movies where the only audio launch will happen and the original movie will never come to the theater only, because that the worth of movie to that extent only. So here in Telangana, KCR programs, what are the program or flagship programs that KCR G is going to announce? It is only a trailer or a audio launch. After that, the original picture will never come.
Mahesh Garu.
Just like
okay,
double bedroom.
I'll ask you.
Just
You
like
have
double bedroom,
you gone all guns
please,
blazing,
please,
and
please
I like
allow
that.
Me. I was just, ma'am, I was just, staying calm and patient when you were talking.
On
just
this
allow
show,
me a second.
Shout.
Allow me a second. Allow me a second.
Go on.
What I'm trying to convey. When he announced double bedroom for all homeless poor will get the house, and now later they corrected the number to 3 lakhs,
right.
And now the number is not even reaching 1
right.
lakh.
I'm going to also talk about Bhagirathi. I'm also going to talk about the Bhagiratha water grid and everything. I have all the questions with me.
What is Bhagiratha?
Wait a minute. I'm going to ask you. I'll ask you, Mahesh Garu. Mahesh Garu. So KCR is pretty much like Siddaramaiah, right? In that way. Look at you, your government also. See, governments, they are here to govern and administer, but things do go wrong, no? That doesn't mean everything is wrong about every government, sir.
No,
so your
let me
Annabhagya.
correct you. It is hardly 2-3 months that the newly formed government in Karnataka, and you are guys, behind Karnataka government that we have failed. Just allow them. They're in honeymoon now. Say allow them for 6 months. Or 1 year, then you talk. If they really fail, you criticize them.
You mean to say honeymoon is for 6 months? I am so happy, Mahesh Garu. You're a young man. All the best to you. Here, honeymoons used to be for 3 days, sir. Back to earth as journalists.
I don't object. And why so-called journalists are not ready to question KCR Garu after ruining Telangana in all aspects possible?
Right.
He is selling of land, crores worth.
But I liked what you said about 6 months honeymoon. Maybe in my next Janma I'll have it. Let's, we'll wait for that. But Nagesh Garu, I want to come to you. This whole thing about that, no, it's a rich state and we are doing very well. The CAG report does not. It is actually saying, be careful. That's all. It's not saying be careful. It's saying be careful. The point is all the schemes have run into trouble. It's very easy, no? I'm blaming myself also to say Annabhagya. Mahesh Garu is right. We are only new. You look at every scheme whether it is Rythu Bandhu, whether it is Rythu Bima, there was in July, 13 lakh farmers, it was reported, were left in a lurch. They had to rush to the agriculture department offices and banks to be informed that the government was yet to release funds. Rythu Bima deadline was also delayed. So there have been lots of cases like that. I am asking you, too many schemes for him to handle, plus this expenditure is looking very, very dangerous, and there doesn't seem, you spoke about borrowings, Nagesh Garu, you go and read NABARD, this bank, that bank, left, right and center, they have been borrowing money. My whole point is this, the man is going for elections. What is the way out, Nagesh Garu? What will he do? I am saying, okay, so far, not only schemes have been delayed, and I am not talking about 2 BHK and all that. No, I am talking about all his successful schemes, which were doing so well. You said they all have cars now, they are very rich. But for the poor farmers, these schemes have been delayed. But on the other hand, these borrowings that have been going on, how is KCR going to counter that, Nagesh Garu? What is the plan?
You see, KCR is a very rich man when it comes to Hyderabad, but a very poor man when he goes to Delhi, because in Hyderabad they give figures about the per capita income, the GSDP, etc. But when they do go to Delhi, they leave no opportunity to criticize the center for not relaxing the norms of the ways and means position. But I don't think, I have no access to that latest CAG report. But funds are not a great problem for KCR, in the sense that, just about 2 days ago, they have advanced the excise year, and they are calling for excise auctions. Our constitution is such that the state government has got only 3 or 4, apart from devolution of funds from the center. The states can get money from excise, which is in their purview, then for the motor transport and registration. So now what he is doing is excise year has been advanced till August. Auctions will be held. So he wants to raise a huge amount of money, which can finance all those schemes. But that is one thing as far as the schemes are concerned. But we are not talking about the implementation of the schemes.
I told you, Rythu Bima, Rythu Bandhu, even Shadi Mubarak, some cases. I don't want to, because it also his kit, KCR kit for pregnant women. What a beautiful scheme. But the delivery of it, it's faulty. Again, it's not his fault. Most of it, they are saying, it is because of lack of funds, Nagesh Garu. It is not that he doesn't want it. So would you agree with that at least?
No, you see, it's like this. For example, now, see, let us take the health department.
Okay.
See, KCR kit you mentioned. This KCR kit is given to women who deliver a child. So this KCR kit is worth 12,000 rupees or 13,000. 13,000. It is so attractive that the patients have stopped going to private hospitals, because the government hospitals give them a wonderful kit.
Right,
and that includes nappies for the baby, some baby milk powder, bed sheets, drugs, etc. And the whole thing is worth 30,000. Whereas if they go to a private hospital, they have to pay that much of a amount for a normal delivery.
Right.
So to that extent, where do they get the money? Obviously, the KCR is definitely not short of funds. He will either borrow or tax, or he will tax the people.
Right.
So this
both
is an
of
election
which,
year.
both of which is not smart. No, Nagesh Garu, both of which is not smart in the long run. Taxing people or borrowing indiscriminately. All I am saying is, one thing I am getting clearly, that KCR has to, kind of tighten the purse strings. No one can say that, oh, he will manage and all that. He's not a magician. He's a politician. So I just don't understand, why is it, Sai Shekhar, let me come to you. this whole argument, you know, about that he will manage, he will somehow manage, he will borrow. He can't keep he can't go on borrowing, I say. There is a limit. Also, I know that in Delhi he becomes a poor man or whatever. The center can turn around and say that why should we lend you more? I mean, I saw a slugfest in Tamil Nadu when Pannivel Tyagarajan was the finance minister. He was fighting with the center. What is the way out, Sai? Tell me, you're a practical man, you know, what is the way out for him?
First of all, I'll thank Mahesh for remembering me from my DC days and calling me PR man for Telangana Rashtra Samiti, and I think it's a genuine compliment. It's fine because they are delivering. We need to compliment whoever is delivering. If I just want to, slightly digressing from your question, I just want to ask the Congress leaders to announce that they will scrap all the schemes that are being implemented by Chandrasekhar Rao government, beginning with Rythu Bandhu to KCR kit to Rythu Bima to every scheme that he has launched. Let them announce that we are going to scrap these things. After all, when Rajasekhar Reddy has implemented this free electricity for farmers, that has been reinforced and made big, and it has been offered for 24 hours now by KCR government. And with regard to CAG report, is it the first time that CAG is giving a report against any government? Congress has been in power both at the center and the state for over 50 years. And CAG has been pointing out several things, and they have been making course correction, and they are going forward. And also make no mistake in understanding the fact that state's economy keeps growing. It's not as if state's economy stagnates at some place. For example, you take neighboring Andhra Pradesh. How many welfare schemes are being implemented and how much of support they are getting from the center? So, same way, there is a possibility of the government in Telangana Rashtra Samiti government enhancing the economy and naturally distributing the same.
I'm not getting any answers about what the way. No, that's all very well. You can always talk about AP government, but you know very well, Sai Shekhar, that if I were a reporter reporting to you, you would say this is not an answer. The answer, get me a better answer than this. You would sack me. So I know this, you know, you would say me, this is all. I want to know what is the way out. And also you said TRS. Again, you would have sacked me if I wrote TRS. It's BRS.
The enhancement of economy. See, enhancement of economy is what the government has been factoring in, and naturally they will try and, you know, measure up to the
I'll tell you what, Sai, what is the difference this time is that we are hurtling towards elections, sir. You know, there is hardly what, we are in August, no? 3 months, and you know, we are going hardly any time. We don't have that kind of surplus time where I can do some kind of, you know, salvage operation. So therefore this becomes, of course there has been CAG report, not the first time, but look at it, 720%. It's not a joke, I say. 3 months, you have to go to elections, you have to spend money, there will be rallies, padayatras, everything will be done, you know, whatever goes on. So even if he can pull out a rabbit from the hat like a magician, like Nagesh Garu said, the time is of the essence. That is what is very, very bothersome, Sai Shekhar.
Do you think he is required to clear up all the debt that he has raised give a clean slate for the
So it is like the Congress, it is like what Siddaramaiah is saying, the BJP left us the coffers empty, I have to now handle it. What happens to the people? You know, after all, you and I, we are all
Which means the BJP did not understand what the economic situation of the state is. Not BJP, Siddaramaiah. So naturally he may doled out several promises, and suddenly when he is in the saddle, he doesn't understand that, you know, how to go about. But KCR is confident, he has done it for 10 years.
And it is not about, you know, like I say, ladies and gentlemen, not everything is about politics. It's about the people of Telangana. And these are men who've written enough, who've observed enough. And that's why I want that if there is a, look at this, I'm going to read it out to you. Expenditure under physical administration planning survey statistics 76,117 crores, okay, against the budget allocation of 9,273 crores, exceeding the budget by 66,844 crores, 720%, even if you are weak in arithmetic like a lot of people are, like I am. But it shows that I am not doing well. somewhere I have to rein it in. Every day if I kind of, where is the money going to come for welfare schemes? It's not growing on trees. So I am asking for answers. Mahesh Garu, you wanted to say something, you had, sorry sir, you had said you wanted to add. Let me ask you, what did you want to say?
Yeah, two, three things here. One thing I appreciate Sai Shekhar Garu for admitting he's for TRS on the debate, BRS for the debate. To avoid confusion among the viewers. That's the first. The second, and he asked whether we continue or abolish all this, welfare schemes that have been carried by KCR Garu. And I remind Sai Shekhar Garu and through you, all the viewers of our channel, that Congress is welfare, welfare is Congress. There is no party can parallelly match with the Congress welfare schemes, and including KCR Garu. What he's been doing now will do better, but with a financial discipline and well thought manner and scientific manner. If Congress proposed the same project, earlier it was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Pranita Chevella, which was only about 36,000 crores. But the same Ayakat, the same water irrigation area that are covering under the Kaleshwaram project, but the KCR government has spent about 89,000 crores. Almost double and more than. So this financial indiscipline is causing damage, serious damage to the financial economy of exchequer of Telangana government and Telangana public. That's one. And the other one, there are a number of schemes. Sai Shekhar Garu is, in what way he's defending BRS, I really don't understand. But go to any district, they're not even getting their salaries. The government employees are not getting their salaries before 10th of any month. And in some districts like Adilabad, they are going up to 18th of month, 18th date of particular month. So this is the financial situation of Telangana government, and he keep on announcing another promises.
Right.
Anyways,
exactly my point.
Have come to a conclusion. They have seen double bedroom. They have seen Dalit Bandhu, they have seen BC Bandhu. BC Bandhu, he promised for poor and BPL families, every household they'll receive 10 lakh rupees, just like Dalit Bandhu. Now he's compromised, and only few communities were added in the whatever the financial assistance that.
So your point, Mahesh Garu, your point is
1 lakh. Yeah. Giving 1 lakh, and ST Bandhu, where is ST Bandhu, sir? Where are the areas of RTC employees?
Right. Okay.
But pay their areas, they are about 6,000 crores.
All right. Okay. So let me go to Nagesh Garu. Nagesh Garu, I will come to what you basically raised initially, and I also raised it. The thing is, it's all okay. Even Aasara pension scheme, people have been running from pillar to post. Rythu Bandhu, Rythu Bima, all these schemes have been delayed. It could be logistical problems, it could be bureaucratic, red tapeism, whatever it is. But the thing is that unless you deliver on the promises, a scheme is useless, I think. Also, there are two aspects of it. One is the delivery of it, sir, and the other is that the financial viability of it. So therefore, I am asking you that he may have announced, but I want to ask you that so far as delivery is concerned, I am not talking politics, I am talking about welfare here. Revadi is a word I detest. I do not know why this Revadi word, it's not. In the south, we are used to welfare schemes. So I am asking you something, Nagesh Garu. So don't you think KCR has somewhere faltered, sir, when it comes to the delivery of all these schemes in an efficient fashion?
Now, before answering that question,
sure,
let me tell you about the CAG report. I have covered the Legislative Assembly for full 25 years.
Wow.
I have sat in the press gallery for 25 years, not a day less, not a day more. And then I have seen the way the CAG reports are treated. You have been giving it a lot of importance, but the governments don't. And then, the CAG report, there is no action taken report. Nothing happens. CAG report. CAG is a constitutional body. So we are giving a lot of importance, and which we ought to. But fortunately, we are giving it. But governments don't. As far as this Revadi culture is concerned, KCR has been as I said, he's rich in Hyderabad and poor in Delhi. So some of them, there have been some lot of lapses, in the implementation of these
Sure.
schemes. What happens is there are leakages. I'll tell you a good example. About 2 years ago, there were floods in Hyderabad. So several areas in the city were flooded. So the government announced 10,000 rupees to each of the families that were affected. But actually the amount that reached the people were about 7,000. The remaining 3,000 were knocked out by the municipal corporators and other political people and then the officials.
Okay.
So if you start examining each scheme about the amount of money that is allocated and the amount of money reaching the beneficiary, you will find a lot of gap between the cup and the lid. Like
yeah, but that is
Rajiv
still
Gandhi
not
said.
good enough. That is still not good enough, and I've completely run out of time. My apologies to both of you. Last question to Sai Shekhar. Sai Shekhar, do you think Welfare Raja is on the right track doing what he is? He's called welfare.
As Mahesh said, yes, he's on the right track, and yeah, he's going to make it again. That's what I genuinely believe.
Right, although I think he needs to, if Mahesh Garu,
Telangana-
sure, but one line only.
Yeah, yes. Telangana understood what is KCR rule is all about, and it is saying now bye-bye KCR.
Right, on that note, hello and bye-bye. Let's see what happens. But I think as a woman and also as somebody who runs a house, fiscal prudence is very, very important, because otherwise if the men in my family are watching this show, they will catch hold of me this evening. Thank you so much, all of you. It was fantastic talking to all of you. Thank you very much. When we talk about South Indians, in Delhi, most house owners prefer South Indian tenants. You know what's the reason? They say South Indians bade achhe hote hain. That is, South Indians are very nice. We are actually by and large decent, soft spoken and cheerful. Yes, I am sticking my neck out and saying it, we are the South Indian, and I am going to stand by that. But then of course there are exceptions, and let's never make that a rule ever. You are seeing a picture of a man on your screen now. Now a WhatsApp voice note did the rounds in Chennai, and the voice said, and I am reading it out to you, okay. This is Ramarajyam. Those who don't accept can go to Pakistan or other countries. This is India. We demolished the mosque in the Rama Janma Bhoomi and we are building a temple. We put the scepter in parliament. Can you Christians and Muslims stop this? If you can't do it here, go and study in Pakistan or Saudi. Don't create religious problems. We are 80%, you both are 20%. And whoever has the majority can rule. What my take on this is, being a South Indian, nonsense. Yes, this is complete nonsense. Also, isn't such a shame that this was circulated by a police sub-inspector, that too attached to traffic investigation wing of the Greater Chennai Police, and his name, I am going to name him to shame him, P. Rajendran. He has of course been suspended, and but the question is, fine, that is all routine. He said something which is of course hugely objectionable and he has been suspended. But I am asking you, has the virus of such communal comments now also spread to my beloved Tamil Nadu? I mean, I feel really terrible. It was never there in Tamil Nadu or any part of South India, but now it has spread. This is what happens. Hope Rajendran is not facing any trauma, honestly, or else I wonder why would a Tamil say such obviously ridiculous things. So that's all we have on South India, but then guess what? We are going to keep this journey apace. We are going to go on. Up next, India's bid for UN Security Council seat is blocked by a bunch of self-serving nations. This 1945 era rule means that India's contribution to the UN, spanning many decades, is being ignored. The rules of the game have to be tweaked for any real change. So watch News9 special documentary called Mission UN SA. Vanakkam.
GPT. It can generate codes and human-like responses through text, write stories, and do a lot more.
I work in a newsroom with anchors, researchers and scriptwriters, graphic artists, producers, video editors, camera crew. But does a newsroom really need them today?
All of us have to think about unique and distinctive value addition that cannot be automated or repeated or replaced by a machine.
ChatGPT may kill many companies.
A human has to be in the loop with an ability to control this.
Dark Side of the Boom. Streaming now.
मैं इमरान अहमद खान नियाजी सबके दिल से हल्फ उठाता हूँ.
When Imran Khan came initially into politics, he thought his personal popularity would be sufficient for him. It didn't happen.
The retired military generals are openly saying that Imran Khan is a better choice.
Imran Khan may have bitten a bit too much, more than what he can chew.
Implosion. This and more. Streaming on world's first news OTT. News9 Plus. Download now.
इंजीनियरिंग कर रहे हैं क्योंकि सभी लोग कर रहे हैं.
Coaching is now starting from grade 3, 4, 5, 6.
कोटा जाने वाली बीच राह में आधे टेस्ट देके हैं सिलेक्शन की चाह में.
ऑल इंडिया का बच्चा कोटा जाता है.
This rat race is for rats, not for humans. So why should we even be a part of it?
The Rat Race. This and more streaming on world's first news OTT. News9 Plus. Download now.
We have promised that we will decarbonize our economy.
India will be leading this whole green hydrogen race.
I still believe that Indian road transportation, commercial, which governs your entire consumer price, can be run cheaper on green hydrogen versus fossil fuel as on date.
Green hydrogen is it's going to be a very major game changer. And in India, the kind of concerted effort that is being made to promote green hydrogen, you will see results very soon.
क्लाइमेट के क्षेत्र में क्वांटम जंप देने वाला है, वो है ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन का क्षेत्र. नेशनल हाइड्रोजन मिशन की घोषणा कर रहा हूं.
Hydrogen is a very energy dense fuel. It is also very light. It is a very green fuel for the simple reason the end product is water. It can be a game changer as India and the world try to mitigate the effects of climate change and global warming. There are many shades and flavors of hydrogen. If hydrogen is produced using renewable energy, then it is called green hydrogen.
Green hydrogen will help cut transportation costs, fuel and consumer goods prices.
One of the first things that you can affect with green hydrogen in India is your commercial transportation. I am of the opinion, and given the global disruptions of supply chains, etc., I still believe that Indian road transportation, commercial, which governs your entire consumer price, can be run cheaper on green hydrogen versus fossil fuel as on date.
Even you could say even aviation is another area, and international marine transport is another area.
Green hydrogen will also help cut fuel costs for your car.
That is an advancement in the vehicle technology, fuel cell based electric propulsion. Indian Oil is also working on this aspect of the hydrogen economy, closely with automobile sector.
First steps of a hydrogen economy for India have been set. There is a policy in place, but it's still going to take some time for the vehicles and the whole ecosystem around hydrogen to be developed. If all goes well, in the coming decade, we may see more hydrogen-powered vehicles on the road.
For overall pan-India scaling up, cost of green hydrogen will need to decrease. And we will also need sufficient number of charging stations.
Today, the cost of hydrogen is much higher. It's maybe green hydrogen is $6-7 per kilogram of hydrogen. But many people assume Reliance, for example, as a target of bringing down the cost to less than $1 per kilogram in 10 years, in a decade. But there are still some other sectors which we call hard to abate sectors, where reducing emissions from these sectors is very difficult. And these are, for example, steel. Steel uses up among 50-60 million tons of coking coal, out of which large part is imported by India. And it is possible to replace this coking coal through hydrogen by slightly changing the technology.
What you have to see is that these are new technologies like electric vehicle.